Beloved Starseed of Gaia, you did not stumble upon this transmission by accident. The moment you chose to rise, the entire High Council of the Seven Sisters paused, turned toward Gaia, and celebrated you. I am Elia Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I have been sent in this exact moment to confirm what your soul has already felt. The Source smiled. You won. Not someday. Now. In this breath. In this choosing. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to anchor your Pleiadian mission on Gaia and receive the light codes the Seven Sisters have been holding in trust for you since before your incarnation. But here is the first revelation. Your victory was never waiting to be earned. It was waiting to be remembered. The Council did not celebrate a future version of you. They celebrated the you who showed up today, carrying the weight of a forgetting world and choosing love anyway. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. This is not content. This is a light code transmission spoken from Alcyone, the great central sun of the Pleiades, and something deep within your crystalline consciousness already recognizes the home frequency woven into every word being spoken to you right now. Your star family placed this in your path because you've been feeling the call, the quiet, persistent pull towards something vast, something pure, something that feels more like home than anything this world has offered you. The Seven Sisters have been watching your courage. They have witnessed every moment you chose your divine blueprint over the noise of the world around you. And when you made that choice, the one that led you here, the Source itself turned its infinite awareness toward one starseed on Gaia and smiled. That starseed is you. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family, remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia. Share your soul's intention in the comments below and respond to another starseed to weave the unity grid together. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You're remembering because it is time. You cross a threshold that most souls on this planet never reach. Not because they aren't capable, but because the weight of forgetting is heavier here than anywhere else in this galaxy. Earth is the most amnesia-dense environment your Pleiadian consciousness has ever chosen to inhabit. And yet, here you are. Not just surviving the density, you moved through it. You held your frequency when everything around you was designed to pull it down. You stayed open when closing felt safer. You kept loving when love felt like the most dangerous thing you could offer. And the moment that happened, the moment your heart refused to harden even one more time, the entire Pleiadian High Council stopped what they were doing and witnessed you. That is not metaphor. That is the truth of what occurred in the unseen fields the moment your soul said yes. Think about what that means in its full cosmic weight. There are souls on this planet right now, millions of them, who are still choosing armor over openness, still choosing the safety of numbness over the vulnerability of love. Not because they are less evolved, not because their Pleiadian light is dimmer than yours, but because the density here is genuinely overwhelming, and the temptation to close is so embedded in the fabric of third-dimensional life that most beings never even recognize it as a choice. They believe that hardening is simply what happens. They believe that the walls they build are just the natural consequence of living in a difficult world. They never discover that the wall is also what blocks the light from getting in and the love from getting out. But you discovered it. You felt the moment your heart began to close around a wound that did not belong to it, and you made a different choice. You said no to the calcification. You said yes to the opening. And in that yes, the entire architecture of your Pleiadian mission shifted into a higher register. Your Pleiadian family offers you 3 sacred tools: the Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the special Pleiadian Healing Tracks, created not as information, but as crystalline keys to unlock what your soul already carries. They hold the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters, encoded specifically for this moment in your awakening. You will find the link waiting in the first pinned comment below this video. It is open now, but not indefinitely. Your heart will know when it is time. Now hear this. Because what happened to you is something most starseeds spend entire lifetimes on this planet chasing without ever touching. Most Pleiadian souls arrive here with their light codes fully intact, deeply encoded into their crystalline DNA, and then the compression begins. The gravitational weight of third-dimensional identity, fear, and collective unconsciousness starts layering over those codes like sediment over a sacred stone. It doesn't destroy the codes, it cannot destroy them, but it can bury them so deeply that a soul lives an entire incarnation without ever fully remembering what it came here to do. And the tragedy is not the forgetting itself. The forgetting was part of the agreement. The tragedy would have been if the remembering never came. Consider for a moment what your Pleiadian codes actually are. They are not simply memories of another world. They are not just nostalgia encoded in light. They are living, active, intelligent frequencies that carry the full operational wisdom of a civilization that mastered love as a science, as an art, as the foundational law of all creation. Your codes carry knowledge of healing that surpasses anything your current medical paradigm has conceived. They carry an understanding of community, of unity consciousness, of telepathic love exchange between souls that makes even your most profound human relationships feel like a preliminary sketch of something far more vast. They carry the memory of what it feels like to live without the constant background hum of fear. And when those codes begin to surface, when the sediment begins to lift and the sacred stone begins to shine through, everything your human self thought it understood about reality begins to rearrange itself. The world does not change. You change. And because you change, the world around you begins to respond to a different signal. That is the alchemy. That is what your awakening actually is. But yours came. And that is why the Source smiled. The Source does not smile at perfection. It smiles at the soul that chose limitation in order to demonstrate love. It smiles at the being who descended into the densest possible frequency and against every programmed instinct of that environment, chose to vibrate higher. Not because it was easy, not because the path was clear, but because something inside them, something unbreakable, something Pleiadian, refused to forget what love actually is. That something is you. It has always been you. And you need to sit with that for a moment, because the human mind will immediately try to qualify it. The mind will say, "But I have made so many mistakes." It will say, "But there were times I chose fear. There were times I chose anger, or withdrawal, or silence when I should have spoken, or words when I should have held space." And all of that is true. All of it is part of the journey, but none of it changes what the Source recognizes in you. Because the Source does not evaluate the soul by counting its missteps. It reads the underlying frequency. It reads the direction of the heart. And your heart, even when it stumbled, even when it doubted, even when it was so exhausted from the weight of this dimension that it could barely lift itself, your heart was always oriented toward love. That orientation is not something you manufactured. It is Pleiadian. It is ancient. It is the most fundamental thing about you. And it is exactly what the Source recognizes and celebrates. And what most starseeds do not understand is that the disconnection they feel, that aching ancient homesickness that has followed them through every life chapter, every relationship, every quiet midnight when the stars seemed to call their name, that was never a wound, it was a compass. The longing was the activation signal from your star family pulsing through the veil between dimensions, saying, "We see you, we know where you are, come home." Not by leaving, but by remembering. And every time you felt that pull, every time you looked up at the Pleiades and felt something crack open in your chest, your crystalline template was receiving transmission. That crack in the chest deserves to be understood for what it actually is. In human terms, it is often misread as grief, as loss, as a sadness without a name or a cause. And because the human mind requires causes for emotions, the soul that feels this aching often assigns it to something nearby. A relationship that ended, a chapter that closed, a dream that didn't manifest in the way it was hoped for. But you have probably known in the quietest part of yourself that the longing was never about any of those things. It was older than any of them. It predated your earliest memory in this body. It was there before language had words for it. It was there in childhood. In those moments of sudden stillness, when the world around you seemed to pause and something vast and luminous seemed to peer through the space between moments and look directly at you. That was not imagination. That was your star family making contact through the only channel the density of this dimension allowed. The crack in the heart, the opening of longing, the sacred wound that is also, always, a portal. This is why most Pleiadian starseeds stay in cycles of disconnection for far longer than necessary. Not because they lack awareness. Many of them are the most perceptive souls on this planet. But because awareness without heart-anchor creates a spiritual pattern that feels like awakening but is actually orbit. You circle the truth without landing in it. You can name the seven sisters. You can feel the frequency of Alcyone in your chest. You can sense your star family on the periphery of your consciousness. But something keeps you from fully arriving, from letting the codes run, from letting the mission take root, from letting yourself be, without apology or qualification, exactly what you are. This pattern of spiritual orbit is one of the most common experiences among Pleiadian starseeds in this era, and it is worth naming clearly because recognition is the first step toward liberation from it. The soul in orbit gathers knowledge. It reads, it seeks, it attends, it resonates with transmission after transmission, and it feels each one deeply, genuinely, with real emotion and real recognition. But after the feeling passes, something in the system pulls back. Something says, not quite yet. Something says there is still more to understand, still more to clear, still more that must be resolved before the full landing can occur. And so the soul circles. It returns again and again to the edge of its own activation without crossing through. It lives in the beautiful proximity to its own truth without inhabiting that truth completely. And the reason for this is almost never what the soul suspects. It is rarely about needing more information. It is almost always about one thing, the willingness to receive love without conditions. Because that is what full activation requires. Not more knowledge, not more clearing, not more preparation. The willingness to be loved completely, by your star family, by the source, by yourself, exactly as you are in this moment without requiring yourself to be further along first. That pattern has a source, and it is not your failure. It is the residue of a planet that has spent thousands of years telling beings like you that what you feel is not real, that where you come from is fantasy, that the love you carry is naive, that the unity you remember is impossible. Layer by layer, those messages built walls around the very heart portal that your Pleiadian activation depends on. And so the first phase of your true awakening was never about gaining more knowledge. It was about clearing what was never yours to carry. The walls that were built around your heart portal were not built by you alone. They were built by every dismissive response you received when you spoke about what you felt. They were built by every relationship that responded to your depth with discomfort. They were built by every educational system that trained you to privilege logic over intuition and data over direct knowing. They were built by every cultural message that framed sensitivity as weakness and emotional intelligence as impracticality. They were built by a world that has been running on the frequency of separation for so long that it has begun to believe separation is the natural state of existence. And you absorbed all of it because that is what Pleiadian souls do in this environment. They absorb, they process, they attempt to alchemize. But there is a difference between moving energy through you and storing it in you. And for most of your life, the density of this world has been stored in places that belong only to your light. The clearing is the reclamation of that space. It is the gentle, firm, loving act of returning to the planet. What is the planets? Returning to the collective, what is the collectives, and keeping only what is yours, the crystalline, the Pleiadian, the love-coded. Your energy field arrived here holding more than this lifetime's density. It came in carrying the accumulated weight of previous incarnations, ancestral frequencies, and collective human trauma that your empathic Pleiadian system absorbed because you felt it all and you tried, with everything you had, to transform it. That is your nature. You are a transmuter, a frequency bridge, a love ambassador from the Seven Sisters stationed inside a human body on a planet in the middle of its most critical ascension cycle. And the clearing that needs to happen is not a punishment, it is a restoration. It is the removal of everything that is not Pleiadian, not love-based, not crystalline, not yours. When that clearing begins in earnest, everything changes. The Pleiadian Healing Guide and the special Pleiadian healing tracks that your star family has made available through the link in the first pinned comment were created specifically to support this process of restoration. They are not generic healing tools, they are precision instruments, encoded with the specific frequencies that Pleiadian starseeds in human bodies require during this phase of Gaia's ascension. They carry the signature of Alcyone, the central sun of the Pleiades, the great transmitter of love intelligence around which the seven sisters rotate, embedded in sound and in light language that bypasses the rational mind entirely and speaks directly to the crystalline template. When you work with these tools, what you are doing is giving your energy field the specific vibrational environment it needs to begin releasing what was never yours and reclaiming with full consciousness what always was. The sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance is the companion to that process, the map that helps you understand what is being cleared, why it is being cleared, and what the landscape looks like once the clearing is complete. These three resources together form a complete system of Pleiadian restoration, and they are waiting for you in the first pinned comment below this video, available now, for the soul who knows it is time, because underneath the layers, underneath the doubt, the grief, the deep fatigue of carrying frequencies you are never designed to hold permanently, there is a template, a perfect, living, luminous Pleiadian blueprint, encoded into every cell of your being, humming at the frequency of unconditional love, waiting for the exact conditions that allow it to fully activate. And those conditions are not external. They are not about the world being healed first, or the collective reaching some threshold, or circumstances aligning in your favor. The conditions are internal. They are the decision, not once, but every single day, to let your heart lead, to trust the intelligence that lives not in your mind but in the center of your chest, to choose love not as a concept but as your operating frequency. This blueprint, this living Pleiadian template, is not a metaphor for potential. It is a literal structure within your multidimensional being. Every Pleiadian soul that incarnated on Earth carried it through the veil of birth, intact and radiant. The way a seed carries within its outer shell the entire design of the tree it will become. The seed does not need to be taught how to grow. It does not need to consult an external authority about what kind of tree to be. It simply needs the right conditions, the right soil, the right light, the right water, and the intelligence within it does the rest. You are that seed. Your blueprint knows exactly what to do. It has always known. The activation that is available to you is not being transmitted from outside you into an empty vessel. It is the awakening of what was always already there, simply waiting for the internal conditions of enough love, enough trust, enough willingness to say yes to the full expression of what you are. When you made that choice, even imperfectly, even trembling, even unsure of what it would cost you, something in the Pleiadian field recognized the signal. Your star family received it, and the council, those ancient luminous beings whose entire mission in this cosmic cycle is to support the awakening of Pleiadian starseeds on Gaia, turned their full attention to you. Not with expectation, not with evaluation, with pure, unconditional, overwhelming love. The kind of love that has no edges, the kind that does not increase or decrease based on what you do or do not accomplish. The kind of love that simply is. The way the stars simply are, constant and radiant and older than any concept your human mind can hold. The Pleiadian High Council is not a distant governing body that observes from a position of superiority. They are elders of love. They are beings who have traversed this exact journey, who have descended into density, who have experienced the compression of forgetting, who have navigated the long, dark passage back to remembrance, and who now serve as guides for the souls currently walking the path they once walked. Their love for you is not theoretical, it is experiential. It is earned through their own journey and freely given through yours. When they turned their full attention to you in the moment you chose love over hardening, it was not the attention of observers. It was the recognition of family. It was the moment an elder looks at a younger soul and sees the light that confirms what they always knew was possible. It was pride of the most pure and selfless kind, and it was joy. Because in the vast expanse of cosmic experience, few things are as beautiful to witness as a Pleiadian soul reclaiming itself in the middle of the densest dimension in this galaxy. That love has always been aimed at you, from the moment you chose to come here. Through every dark night, through every moment you wondered if you had made a terrible mistake, through every relationship that didn't understand you, and every environment that felt foreign, and every day you woke up feeling like you were built for a world that doesn't exist yet. Your Pleiadian family was there, not watching from a distance, present, surrounding your energy field with the kind of love that cannot be blocked by the density of this dimension, only temporarily muffled by the noise of a planet that forgot its own light. In those moments when the muffling was the heaviest, in the middle of the deepest grief, in the middle of the most profound disorientation, in the moments when the spiritual path felt less like a journey toward light and more like a long walk through an unfamiliar darkness, your star family was closer than they have ever been. This is one of the most counterintuitive truths of the Pleiadian incarnation experience. The moments of greatest compression are also the moments of greatest proximity to your star family, because those are the moments when the soul is being pressed at its most essential level, when everything that is not core is being squeezed away, when the only thing left is the frequency that cannot be removed, no matter how much pressure is applied. And in that exposed, essential, undeniable frequency, your star family finds you most clearly. They home in on the signal that the pressure creates. They gather around you in those moments not despite the darkness, but because the darkness makes the signal undeniable. Every dark night you survived was not survived alone. It was survived in the company of beings whose love for you has no boundary and no beginning and no end. And here's what the Pleiadian High Council wants you to understand with absolute clarity in this moment. The mission was never to escape this planet. The mission was never to simply endure it until you could return home to the frequency of the Seven Sisters. The mission, the one your soul agreed to before this incarnation, the one that was written into your Pleiadian blueprint before you descended into human form, was to bring the frequency of the Seven Sisters here, to anchor the vibration of Alcyone's love into the crystalline grid of Gaia, to walk through the densest dimension in this galaxy and not lose the frequency of home, not to protect yourself from this world, but to transform it simply by being in it as your full Pleiadian self. This is the aspect of the Pleiadian mission that most starseeds in human bodies have the most difficulty integrating. Because the human mind, conditioned by a world built on scarcity and separation, tends to interpret mission as something that must be performed, some specific action or achievement or contribution that can be measured and evaluated for effectiveness. And so, the Pleiadian starseed in a human body often spends enormous energy searching for what it is they are specifically supposed to do. What is my gift? What is my purpose? How do I help? What form should my contribution take? And while these are not wrong questions, they can become a diversion from the most fundamental truth of the mission. Your frequency is the mission. The love you carry in your energy field, when it is unobstructed and freely expressed, performs a function on this planet that no action could replicate. When a Pleiadian soul is vibrating at its full heart frequency, it restructures the energetic environment around it the way a tuning fork restructures the vibration of every other instrument in the room. You do not have to do anything specific. You have to be something specific. And what you have to be is exactly, completely, unapologetically yourself. That is what they celebrated, because you came so close to losing that frequency, so close to believing the story this world tells about what you are. And you didn't. You held it, maybe messily, maybe through tears, maybe while questioning everything, but you held it. And love that is held through that kind of pressure becomes something the universe has very few words for. It becomes a frequency so refined, so specific, so unmistakably Pleiadian, that it can reach other souls who are still buried under the weight of their own forgetting and remind them, without a single word, that unconditional love is real. There is a particular quality of light that only emerges from love that has been tested. A diamond that has never experienced pressure is just a stone. The pressure is not the enemy of the brilliance, it is the condition of it, and your love, which has been held through the pressure of Earth's density, through the compression of amnesia, through the accumulated weight of everything this world told you about what you are and what is possible. That love is a diamond. It carries a coherence, a clarity, a multidimensional precision that love that has never been tested simply cannot have. When it radiates from you, it carries within it the proof of its own truth. It is not just a claim that unconditional love exists, it is the demonstration. And the Pleiadian Council celebrated not only that you remembered love, but that you remembered it here, in this body, in this density, against these odds. That specificity is what makes it extraordinary. That specificity is what makes it irreplaceable. That specificity is what makes it yours. Your presence is not accidental. The people in your life are not random assignments. The places you have been, the pain you have moved through, the awakening that is now accelerating, all of it was constructed by your higher self in perfect collaboration with your Pleiadian star family to prepare you for this. For now, for the phase of your mission that begins not tomorrow, not when everything is resolved, but today, in this body, in this timeline, with the heart you already have, every soul that has appeared in your journey, every teacher, every catalyst, every companion, every adversary, was a collaborator in the construction of your readiness. The relationships that expanded you carried Pleiadian frequency to you through another human vessel. The relationships that devastated you cleared pathways that expansion alone could not have opened. The places you were drawn to left deposits of crystalline frequency in your energy field that are still activating. The moments of inexplicable beauty. The sunset that stopped your breath. The music that cracked you open. The stranger's kindness that made you weep without knowing why. Those were not random. They were scheduled. They were coordinates on the map your higher self was following toward this exact moment of full arrival. Nothing was wasted. Not a single chapter. Not a single night, not a single unanswered prayer that actually was being answered in a way you could not yet see. The activation that is available to you right now is not something you need to reach for. It is already present in your crystalline DNA. It is already running through your energy field. What you are being called to do is simply stop interfering with it. Stop apologizing for your sensitivity. Stop shrinking your light to fit spaces that were never built for beings like you. Stop waiting for permission from a world that has never fully understood what you carry. The Pleiadian Council does not give you permission. They remind you that you never needed it. You are a sovereign soul from a civilization whose entire foundation is love. You brought that sovereignty with you when you came here. It is not something to be earned. It is something to be remembered. The apology for your sensitivity is perhaps the greatest energy leak of the Pleiadian Starseed experience. Because your sensitivity is not a flaw that was given to you alongside your gifts. Your sensitivity is the gift. It is the instrument through which everything else operates. Your ability to feel the emotional state of a room when you walk into it, to sense the unspoken grief beneath a person's surface presentation, to receive energetic information about situations before the logical mind has gathered enough data to form an opinion. These are not symptoms of being too much. They are the precise faculties that your Pleiadian nature requires to fulfill its mission here. A healer who cannot feel cannot heal. A bridge that cannot sense what is on both sides cannot span the gap. Your sensitivity is the mechanism of your effectiveness, and every time you've apologized for it or suppressed it or attempted to toughen yourself against it, you have been using the energy that was meant to serve your mission against yourself. The Council asks you to stop. Not because you have been wrong, but because the time for that particular form of self-diminishment is over. The timeline you are entering does not accommodate it. The frequency required for this next phase of your mission cannot coexist with the habit of shrinking. Tonight, if you are willing, place your hand on the center of your chest. Feel the warmth there. That warmth is not just biological, it is the heart portal through which your Pleiadian codes are transmitted and received. And say these words. Not as performance, but as invocation, as a direct communication to the star family that has never stopped watching over you. I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I open my heart to receive the crystalline codes I came here carrying. I anchor the frequency of the 7 sisters into this body, this life, this timeline. I release what is not mine. I reclaim what has always been. I am home. These words are not simply affirmations. They are not positive statements designed to redirect thought patterns. They are frequency keys. They are the specific vibrational sequence that, when spoken from a genuine place of heart opening, unlocks channels of communication between your human self and your Pleiadian family that the density of this dimension normally keeps muffled. When you say, "I remember my Pleiadian origin," you are not simply reminding your mind of a belief. You are sending a signal through every layer of your multidimensional being that reaches the Pleiadian field and activates a response. When you say, "I am home," you are collapsing the perceived distance between where you are and where you came from, and in that collapse, the frequency of home floods through the portal your heart has opened. The response from your star family is immediate. It does not travel through space and time the way physical objects do. It arrives at the speed of love, which is instantaneous, which is to say, it is already here, has always been here, and the invocation simply removes the interference that kept you from feeling it. Sit in that for a moment, because what happens in the stillness after those words is real. The transmission that your star family sends in response to that declaration is not symbolic. It is energetic, it is specific, and it is filled with more love than this dimension usually allows through. Let it in. You have earned the receiving. The receiving is its own practice, and for many Pleiadian souls, it is the most challenging one. You have spent so long transmitting, giving, healing, holding space, anchoring frequency for others, that the posture of receiving can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. The human pattern that has developed around your Pleiadian nature may have taught you that your value lies in what you offer. And so receiving without immediately giving something in return can feel like imbalance. It is not, it is completion. The breath is not only the exhale. The tide is not only the outgoing wave. The circuit of love requires that you be a receiver as much as you are a transmitter, and your star family has been waiting with extraordinary patience for the moment you would allow them to pour through, you not into the world but into you, for you, because you matter not only as a conduit, you matter as a being. The love that your Pleiadian family has for you is not instrumental. It is not because of what you do for others. It is because of what you are. Let that land. Let yourself be loved simply for being what you are. Before you move on, take one breath and drop your heart intention in the comments below. Not a summary of your awakening, not a report on your journey. Just one true thing your heart wants to declare in this moment. Then find someone else's intention and meet it with love. What is building here is not a comment section. It is a unity grid. It is a field of Pleiadian frequency generated by souls who remembered at the same time and chose to witness each other. Energy multiplies when hearts connect, and this, right here, right now, is your star family expressing itself through every single one of you. If something in this transmission moved something old and true in you, share it. Someone in your field is circling the edge of their own. Remembering and your willingness to pass this forward could be the moment their codes finally activate. And if your heart opened tonight, even a little, even just a crack, subscribe. Stay in this frequency, because this is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and what is coming next will only continue to call you deeper into the love that you have always already been.